across to another special guest joining us on the technicalities involved of what really transpired. Sudhanshu Mani is a former GM of the Indian Railways and the creator of the Vande Bharat train. Sir, thanks a lot for your time. From what we know from the railways is that the interlocking system gave a faulty signal to the train that was approaching and made it change lines, because of which it collided with a stationary train, and the double crash took place. I want to understand from you, why is it that this interlocking system would give a faulty signal? How does that happen?
Okay, so the interlocking system did not give a faulty signal. It is fail-safe. If there is a fault, it goes to a fail-safe mode, turns the signal red, and the train would stop. The interlocking system was interfered with by some person or a group of persons, interfering it in a manner that it gives a false indication to the station master that the route is set for the main line, signal was taken off for the main line, whereas really the route was still set to the loop line, which was occupied by a heavy goods train.
Right.
So this points to a human unauthorized intervention, either with a criminal intention or cavalier attitude to maintenance, carefree maintenance done by some maintainer. At this stage, we don't know whether it was a maintenance staff which did this mischief or it was a criminal intent. If it was a railway staff, he was presumably doing it to cut down his maintenance time. There are pressures of work today. Trains have to keep running, so the window of maintenance is small. And maybe he adopted a short circuit method without realizing the consequences. And if it's a criminal activity, then it's a matter of state security on which I would not like to speak anything. Yes. Inquiry would reveal whether it was, yes.
So, I just want to reiterate this. You are saying there is no way that this fail-safe interlocking system, there could not have been any technical error. It has to be a human-induced error.
That's my understanding. I'm not a supreme expert, but that's my understanding. And in my experience, I have not come across a case where the system itself resulted in such a failure. But I have come across failures where human unauthorized intervention caused a failure-like or accident-like situation.
So, from what I understand, sir, that this system is operated by the station manager or the assistant station manager. Once the system is set, there can be no changes without multiple people being involved. The relay room is locked and you need multiple keys to change this. Then how is a human intervention possible?
So that's a matter of investigation. The relay room cannot be accessed without the consent of the station master who keeps the key. So whether the some maintainer was actually present in the relay room or not would be known through investigation. Most likely the interference would have been done in the relay room, but it's also remotely possible from other locations, usually not the case. That's a matter of investigation, as you said. But what I'm repeating again is this kind of situation would arise only because either a human carefree working, cavalier working, shortcut, or, as I said, a criminal intent.
So in that sense, you concur with what the railway minister has hinted at, that there can be more than meets the eye. The system did not fail. There was some other, either intentfully or without intent, some sort of interference with the system.
Yes, largely, but my information, which is of course hearsay and through my sources, I was given to understand that some maintenance work was indeed going on there. So I have no means to verify that. But because a CBI inquiry has been ordered, which is unprecedented,
yes,
I would tend to think that government has some information that some foul play was at hand. So this is all I would like to say. Like yesterday, I was under the impression that the sabotage angle is perhaps very unlikely, but today, after the CBI inquiry has been ordered, I would think that there is some information with the government to which I am not privy. So it could be both, and I am not going to second guess on that.
Yes.
But I'll repeat again that I'm sure it is some human unauthorized intervention which has caused this failure.
Okay. So, sir, my final question to you, since you're saying that this is some sort of unauthorized human intervention that has led to this accident, it is not the system in place, how is it that we avoid something like that? Because I'm sure there are checks and balances already in place for such unauthorized human interference to not take place.
Yeah. That's right. So if it is a criminal intent behind this intervention, then it's a matter of state security. I'm not an expert on that. It is law and order issue, and that will have to be tackled by various ministry, Home Ministry and others in association with Railway Ministry.
Right.
But if it's a case of a maintainer doing this, he is authorized to be there, but he's doing an unauthorized action. That is, he is there with authority, but the procedures and rules to do maintenance has not been followed. He has done a shortcut to perhaps to do his work quickly. Now this, as I said, could happen because of pressure of work, because pressure of work has increased these days because of saturation of train lines. Train lines have increased, numbers of trains have increased, these things. The important question here is whether it is a totally one-off case or similar irregularity keeps happening and overlooked. So that again, if it was happening in that zone or that area, and there was knowledge about it and it was overlooked or not dealt with severely, then it's not just the signal man or the ASM who's responsible. The responsibility would then has to be thrown up to the management. But that is also something which will come out in the inquiry. I'm sure a thorough inquiry will reveal whether such cases were taking place and brushed under the carpet.
Okay, I just have a final follow-up question. Since you're saying that this could be because of, let's say, overwork or stress of work, that somebody has chosen to bypass certain set procedures and has in a callous manner interfered when they shouldn't have, could the fact that there are so many vacancies still in the railways, which the opposition has also pointed out to, be a reason that this has happened, that we need to augment the strength of the railway staff, especially ones who are handling such critical operations?
So if the vacancies are in categories which are largely for, say, manufacturing or maintenance or commercial activities and so on, that really does not have an impact on safety. If the vacancies are in categories like loco pilot, station master, ESMs, the signal maintainers, or guards and so on, so large number of vacancies in these areas is not good for safety, that I agree. But since I don't have the information about this particular railway as to what is the level of vacancies there, I don't think I will go beyond that.
Okay.
One caveat again, it's not a question of number of vacancies in question of signal maintainers. Even if there are vacancies, it's more a question of the pressure to do a work quickly or simple carefree cavalier attitude. Both are possible. So if it is because of pressure of work and to make the trains run in time and not lose any punctuality, then the management becomes involved, because trains may run or not run, but thousands of lives matter much more than merely train running.
Understood. I do thank you for your time and for your explanation. So you are also suggesting that this is not a system failure. This has to be some sort of negligent human interference, whether willfully or otherwise. Sudhanshu Mani, I do thank you for joining us.